and a lot of our conversation till now, has been about startups and working in startups. You've been part of 3 startups which have, from a very early stage to have now been are sitting at a growth stage, and some of them are unicorns, and some of them might go IPO very soon. So in all of those senses, when we talk about it, uh, from the listener's perspective, if you can share how growth and strategy as a role is different in a very early stage company, as to what goes there in planning and strategizing and doing things, versus a very fast growth or a high pace, high scale phase where you are in now, you're scaling fast. So how does this role change? How can things be planned better, or what do you have seen?
Understood. So I think in an early stage startup, right, you won't actually probably you won't have these defined roles at all. Because I think like a proper growth role or a strategy role eventually comes in like once you have like a series A or a series B kind of an event, right? Because until that point, you have a small group of people who are generalists. Like that's the common word that is thrown around. That these people are decently smart. They are willing to work, and they will get anything done that you throw at them, or at least they'll try. Right. So that is one key difference, because I think even the company doesn't know how they have to be structured, right? And they don't know what are the levers for growth, what should be their long-term strategy. And I think strategy is usually driven by the top management, like the founder team knows, okay, so this is why we started the business. This is our larger vision. So they will probably be running the strategy, and the day-to-day things and just setting up the whole like the whole process of how the business needs to move and everything will probably be given to the immediate next team. And in that, I think your growth roles will be included with operations and everything. So there's no distinction as such in the early stage. That is, I think, one key thing. And also, I think because it is a smaller team, you don't have to worry too much about like documenting things or being clear in your communication, because literally people are sitting like within one particular room, and you just step up to their table and you can resolve the issue. Right. So that is, I think, and that is why like early stage startups are very nimble, right? Because you don't have that much hierarchy, and you're just able to cut through things real quick and like try and run many iterations at a very small in a very small span of time. So that is how I would say early stage startups are set up. Um, as you get bigger as an organization, like once you hit the high scale, then you properly start defining roles, right? Then your other roles start to play out. Like you will have a proper growth function, and you will probably have somebody who's done this for a very long time, and he will be leading the function. And then there will be people who are running strategy, then there'll be product, and everything gets properly defined. And I think once that happens, things move slightly slowly, because you are like you're operating at a bigger scale, right? So any small mistake you make, it's going to affect like a large audience of people. So you have to be very careful, and that's why there are more processes to get approvals and to get things moving, right? So that is there. And from a communication standpoint also, it changes very differently, right? Because like in Instamart, I think there are about 1,000 people. So if I need to communicate something to them, I can't get them on a single Google Meet or a Zoom call, right? So that's where you have to be very clear when you like build your documents, send out mails, and you have to know how your audience is thinking, and make sure you condense your thoughts in a very simple way. Write that mail, or maybe send like a video recording to them, and like be very clear when it comes to communication. I think communication is like very important when you scale to a bigger company. Yeah, I think that is how I think these two things are different.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, like you mentioned, in the high scale, uh, it's lot less. Each individual there has their own skill set, and they know what they're doing. So communication becomes the key, that two teams are talking to each other, and they're talking in the right way, and the right information is being relayed to each other, so that there is no gap of communication is not leading to more errors, because skills obviously you're sitting there because of certain skill set. There's no one who doesn't know how to do their job. So yeah, that's a good insight there.